Hello, my babies. Where are you going? And what is the topic for tonight? Hmm? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. You put the socks in there. Mm-hmm. Hey, Caroline. We ain't going nowhere. But where these men claim they got somewhere to go. So we're going to do a topic today on this. I know it's so much different communities that's in this don't forget to hit that like. Hey, Spice is nice. How you doing, love? Mm. Wait for a couple more of you guys to come on in. I don't know what happened earlier. Anthony, that new thing, you got to go check the holes because they flow over because they made it smaller. Wait for boss lady so she can see what this is. She can see what this is. this party started. Wait for Boss Lady, or we gonna start? Cause we wanna know where these men going. Cause we talking about MGTOW, men going their own way, and we wanna know where they going. Where they going? So we go. I think this is. I don't know if this is the same thing as the red pill. I don't know if it's the same thing as manosphere. We're all learning this together. We're learning all these different groups together. So you guys cannot say I'm not schooling you guys on what's going on. And please do not forget to hit that like button. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Because they done messed me up this morning. They messed me up really bad this morning. And I do not want to be messed up again. So let me start this show. Okay. So remember, it's MGTOW, men going their own way. So if you ever heard of MGTOW, now you know what they're talking about. See, MGTOW, men going their own way. So that's different from the red. That's different from the yellow pill, the red pill, and the manosphere, and the alpha pill. It's so many different categories. We all learning all of these categories together. So let's sit back and see what this is all about. Because if they go on their own way, this is the only thing I could agree with. And we go our own way too. Shit. F it. F it, F it, F it, F it.
As a married man about men leaving women behind and going our own way. Yo, Elliot. And that has everything to do with men going our own way, bro. So yes, I'm about the men going their own way movement. I support it. I say yes to it. I'm about it. I'm facilitating it. That's what Grounding Man is all about this weekend. There will be a bunch of men going our own way. And in this video, I want to answer your question about how I feel, which you already know. You get my thumbs up. MGTOW, let's go. But I want to go a little bit further because from what I've continued to read and investigate with regard to MGTOW, watching other people's YouTube videos, I found that you guys are just not extreme enough. You're not going far enough, MGTOW. Yes, I agree. Men must go our own way.
Bye.
We must separate from the world of women and government. That's what the whole red pill thing that I'm discovering is all about too. You guys don't realize that I kind of live under a rock. I don't watch or consume too much media, but I thank you when you share these wonderful new happenings with me, and MGTOW's got me juiced up. Now, men going their own way is not actually a new thing. And I want to kind of make that clear. It's a remembering. We're coming back. And that's a lot of what's happening in the world right now. It looks like things are breaking down, but really what's happening is we're coming full circle. We're ending one chapter and we're beginning a brand new one. And when you start a brand new chapter, the things that you started with, men going their own way, start to come back. Something our ancestors knew about men, young men, and going our own way. Both men and women understood this about men needing to go their own way, and they collaborated together, both the matriarchs and the patriarchs, when young men in particular needed to go their own way. And what they would do is create a situation where the older men, the wise men, the fathers, the grandfathers, the uncles, the elders, the mentors, would recognize a young man who needs to be separated from the world of matter, mother, when he began to get lost. And that typically happens when we end one cycle as an individual and move into another cycle. And that's usually around the age of 12. So 12 to 14 or so.
Hold on. Yes, that part is true. That's because they had to learn. Yeah, that part is true. They had to have a passage, but that wasn't them going their own way. They had to learn something, that certain things when they went away. That was like a passive passage to being a man. That's because he talking so loud. I'm gonna cut it down some more, but he's loud. If it's still an echo, let me know, okay? All right. So that was called a passage of life. That was called a passage of life. That's when they taught them like how to hunt, like what the tools were for, how to fish, how to campfire, how to protect where you live at, and then tell them, old stories. But it wasn't about it wasn't that extreme. It was just the passages of life. That and the same way the women did the women things. But I don't know, but I don't know why he decided to be all mean with his eye. He wore a shirt that go directly with his eyes. He all clean cut, he all cute and stuff. He know he cute, but something wrong with that. Maybe he got a little sugar there. I don't know.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. So I think we should go our own way too. Where we going? I don't know. Where we going? I don't know. But I'm just
Well,
saying
oh,
this is the only one I agree with.
so what is he saying the rite of passage is in
No, I
2020?
was saying it was called the rite of passage. It's what he's trying to say. This is what our ancestors knew from the get go. But I'm saying
Right.
it was done for different reasons. But this MGTOW been out away. What they want to do is go to different countries, but you're never going to get away from women. So these are people that want to grow old. I've seen a lot of different ones, but I never fully got into it because a lot of men didn't want to touch it. So I figure, F it, I'm gonna just do it myself. Me and boss lady, boss lady, like so. All these different terms that we heard of, but we're learning, exactly what the different groups of men that different groups these men have. That's why I'm glad I don't work in the store where I got to make them motherfuckers some coffee and shit. I mean, you don't like us no way, so don't come in here being all nice 1 minute and you're nasty. Nope, nope. I think if they feel like that, I think it should be wagtail too. Women going their own way. I think him and Cynthia G should get married, actually. But so that's just hearing it. I got a couple other things, but let's go.
Our ancestors began
Guys,
to.
please let me know if it's still echoing. Or boss lady will let me know for sure.
Recognize in a young man, both men and women, once again, that boy
Are you in
got
the
to get the
kitchen?
fuck up out of here, out of the world of the mother. This is a term that I learned from reading Iron John, where he speaks about. This is Robert Bly, speaks about the fundamentals of male initiation. And although there are many different motifs, there's one that is ever present, that's cross-cultural, and that is this: separation from the world of the mother and atonement with the world of the father. So separation from women, separation from the world, separation from the mother, separation from matter, because that's where the root word material comes from. The word maternity comes from. The word mother comes from. Is essential for men to find ourselves. We must separate ourselves from the world of matter. Our ancestors knew this. And women, mother is a metaphor, is a symbol for matter. That's why the earth is considered feminine. Matter, material, the Maya is only one part of our existence, is only one part of our experience, let me put it that way, as a human being. There is the second half, but we've been so mind fucked, we've been so attached to the material world, materialism, money, women, earth, sensationalism, sex, all these things are very physical. They're of the world of the mother, Right now, we're having a backlash. That's what Madtown is all about. I like to call it Mantown. That's the way I thought of it when I heard it. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, Mantown. Mantown gets it halfway. We must separate from the world of the mother, but for one reason and one reason only. So that we can atone and follow the way of the father, the pattern, the paternity. That's where the word paternity comes from also too. Mother, matter, material, father, paternity, pattern. Something that we know about patterns is that they're not really really material.
That's what you made up. That's what you made up. And we ain't make that shit up. But my thing is, first thing you need to do is go find them deadbeat daddies and tell they already left anyway. But let them leave with a cause. But tell them daddies stay in the house. I mean, these men really don't like women. I'm like, damn, we should just come get them. This is crazy. The things that we're learning, I can't even say that word, the dislike. We could say dislike. The dislike they have for women is crazy. The same bosoms that you was using for your milk. Oh my God. Jeez. But okay.
Patterns are like blueprints. Patterns are spiritual. They're ideas, ideologies, stories, religion, meaning. Ideas all come from the world of the Father. That's why they point to the Father up there, from the eternal Father. So now I just raised up our conversation, Magtows. Follow me, because I'm raising it up with you. But we got to get out of the illusion completely with regard to the fact that it's man and woman, because it's not. It's about matter and pattern. It's about the material world and the spiritual world. It's about rising up out of duality. When many Magtows go on their quest, it's out of bitterness. It's out of anger and hatred and pain, guilt, shame, with regard to how the material world, the matter world, the mother world, women represent the enslavement that we've been subjected to for so many generations. Yes, be mad, I get it. But you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You don't want to throw out women as an emblem for what is actually going on in the big picture when we rise up out of it. It's not about women. And I can tell you this, those of you guys who think that you're Magtows, but you're not because you reject women and then you go and chase money. I was reading some of the blog posts. You reject women and go chase money, you're chasing the same fucking thing. It's all the material world. When you reject women and you chase money, you've just, I mean, it's a bad bet there, because women are much more sensual than that piece of paper. You're going to reject one or the other, reject the money, right? But really what I'm asking you to do is not to reject money or to reject women, but to rise up out of it, rise up out of duality, create separation from the world of matter, so that we can be available to go in and go up to the world of pattern, to the world of spirit, to the world of the Father. So much I want to say about this topic. There are so many different things to explore here. This is a rich gold mine, and that's why I'm so excited about this question. I've been talking to my friends all week about it since I heard your question, my friend. And so I've got so much that I'm trying my best to temper here and give you the fundamentals, the basics, right? I want to be a part of your movement, Magtows. So let me support the movement here with some ideas that might move it forward. Separation from the world of the mother, yes, very good. We must rise up and recognize that it's all matter. That's why monks stepped out of relationships. They don't get married. I hear you guys talk about not getting married. Yeah, that's why monks didn't get married. That's why the religious men, the spiritual men, the shamans did not have women. They did not get involved because they were living in the world of pattern, paternity, the Father's world, the spiritual world.
Stay over there.
It's a good thing.
Raping kids.
But when we separate from the world
You
of
gotta watch
the
what you
matter,
say,
the material,
boss lady.
we're not actually getting away from the total feminine or from the feminine completely.
I'm already
Because
shadow banned.
what happens also too is we get to learn how to appreciate and cultivate the woman inside each and every one of us. That's why the religious men stepped away from the world, stepped away from women,
See ya.
so that they can increase their own intuition and their own creative capacity. Women already got it. They come here inherently as creators. Men, and it's very obvious and it's very rudimentary, it's very sow-like, cow-like women's creativity. Because, I mean, my wife breastfed all our kids. She would even say, yeah, I'm a cow again. That's the ugly side of the woman that we're wanting to not...
What?
When we project our femininity on a woman, what we're really doing, and our beauty, what we think is beautiful out there with regard to a woman, and when we love that woman, when we're attracted to that woman, we got to understand that that love, that sensation is in us first.
Exactly.
You can't love that woman. You can't see that beauty. You can't see beauty outside yourself unless you have it inside you. The problem then goes with the grasping and the wanting and the needing of that woman. And then the resent and the remorse and the regret and the anger associated with finding out that she's a sow. She's a cow. She's just a flesh and bone beast like you and me.
Ooh, wow.
It's the divine woman that we're projecting upon her, the potential woman, the ideological woman that we're projecting on her. And she can't have it unless we give it to her.
No.
What?
Do you understand that? So the love is in you. The anima, as Carl Jung would call it, is in you.
Hold on,
when we look outside of ourselves for anything, be it the woman or the wealth, we give our power away. And then it becomes very easy to have icky feelings towards those things that we give our power away to. Icky feelings towards women. Not knowing that we gave them their power, but when they throw it back in our face, we feel all dejected, rejected, and want to point fingers, not realizing I gave her my power. And those of you guys who are angry about the government and their position with regard to how men are treated in the breakup of families, you got to understand that too. You got to understand that that's okay too. You can't fight the government also too. And I don't say that because they're stronger than you. I say it because it's a fucking waste. It's like trying to kick women out of your life. It's a waste. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to go nowhere.
Thank you. I
When
read
it comes
that
to the
part.
government, when it comes to women, take the advice of Master Christ, Jesus. He's got something real important to say about that. One of his disciples comes to him and says, hey, Jesus, I know you want us to follow us and do all this spiritual shit. Follow your father, because Jesus was a gangster. He was initiating us. You want us to follow your father, follow the pattern, follow God. But Caesar over here wants my money. I got to make money because he got to pay.
And he said, give Caesar what is his.
What Jesus told him?
What is his.
He picked up the coin and he showed the picture of the face on that coin to his disciple and said, whose face is that?
Give Caesar what is his and give
Americans,
my father what is his.
Whose face is on our dollar? Think world, whose face is on your dollar? And he says, bro, Caesar's face is on this dollar, on this coin. Give Caesar what's his.
That and give my father.
Give the world what's his. Give the
his.
government what's theirs. Give women what they're attached to.
And
give me your heart. Give me what's mine.
He said, give my father what
Jesus
is
says,
his. That's
give me
right.
what's mine. And he's speaking for the Father. He's saying, let go of all that shit completely.
That's what he said.
Completely let it go.
That's
You guys who
right.
are mad cows who are mad at women, but still out there hustling and bustling and trying to make that money and being attached to that, all you did was switch drugs. You're addicted to another thing of the same magnitude. It's the same, only I say it's worse, because money ain't gonna fuck you. Money ain't gonna cook you.
Yes, it is.
Well, you could hire a cook, but you get where I'm going. Money is not warm like a woman.
Yes, it is.
So, where am I here?
Yeah, where you
now?
at? Where you at?
Separation from the world of the mother. Seeing women for what they really are and seeing men for what we really are, which are animals.
I ain't no damn animal.
When we show up and we incarnate here, women have nipples for nursing like sows. And men, we're no better. We're pretty nasty too.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, in the same way that our ancestors related the physical part of the woman, and I'm pulling this from Iron John also too, as he relates to the Celtic traditions, women, there are two parts, men, there are two parts. This is fundamental human being stuff. So yin yang,
Mm-hmm.
everything is yin yang, everything is male female.
Mm-hmm.
The part of the woman that we tend to overlook and not see is that she's a beast. And we project the beautiful part on her, knowing that that's a pattern, that's in you. That love, there is no, you can't pick that love up and touch it. It's in you. It's a vibration inside you. It's an energy inside you. And men, snakes, baby, that's how we're represented. Snakes. And we're told instantly not to trust women and not to trust snakes when we read the Bible. Depends on how you interpret it. The snake, he's the one that, and the woman, they're the ones that got us in this sinful place to begin with. And they're all trouble. But now you're alienated, men. We're alienated.
Here we go. The women did not get us nowhere.
Yeah, his Wi-Fi.
What happened? What happened, boss lady? Who you talking to? Who Wi-Fi, boss lady? Well, here he go again. He didn't read the next line. And Adam sat there and watched her eating. Adam got the law. Adam broke the law. Eve did not break the law. He gave the commandment to Adam. He would have replaced Eve. Adam is the man, and Adam is the one that broke the commandment. And Adam is also right there. At no point in time did Adam say, what did my father say? Put that down, woman. He did none of the above. So I always got to clarify that. Because men always find a way to, as you know, dump everything on us. So that's why I really like MGTOW, actually. I really like them. I respect them because that's something we should do too. We should be WAGTOW. WAGTOW. WIGTOW. But no, that don't go. Too many women wear wigs. But we need to learn how to go our separate ways too. We all should be separated until we learn, until we able to really learn each other and know what relationships and stuff are and is. It is what it is. But we'll just finish.
When we alienate ourselves from women, and we're alienated when we alienate ourselves from our own animal, our own instinct, our own wisdom, our own serpent, snake. Kundalini energy rises up the spine. You know where the spine begins? At the base. Spinal cord, reptilian brain, Abdullah Oblongata. Abdullah Oblongata. The reptilian part of the brain stem. Our own intuition, our own knowing. The snake has always been a symbol for wisdom, right? Why do you think in the Egyptian gods, some of them got snakes up on top of their head, those dudes? Because there's something powerful about our animal nature too, not just the women. They give birth. They give birth just like cows and sows. But men, snakes, what do snakes do? Snakes shed their skin. Snakes keep their belly close to the ground so they can sense the vibrations of what's going on. Then they lift themselves up and they can smell with their tongues. When snakes are smelling with their tongues, it's almost like when we receive downloads of consciousness from the Father above. Intuition, he speaks into our heart. Atonement with the Father is step 2, if you're following me. So we separate from the world of the mother mad cows. Yes, Mantown. Do it. Righteous. It's true. We've been doing it for generations and we should bring it back. I'm bringing it back. That's what we're doing at Grounding Camp, like I said. We're all bringing it back. This is the right time. This is why I'm so excited about it, man. This is the greatest time to be alive. These movements make sense. Separation is good, but atonement brings wholeness. And what we're really wanting is a connection to our fathers, both physical father and metaphysical father. The pattern above, the paternity above, the blueprint from above, that eternal blueprint and our individual blueprint as we get here, knowing our truth, knowing our sovereignty, being sovereign over our lives like kings, getting back in touch with that.
How you do that though?
But it's going to be a long, hard road because
I don't know how to do it.
If we stay focused on the material, we stay focused on the matter, we stay focused on
Give me that chain.
Rejection of the polarity of matter.
Give me that chain on your neck thing. It's nice. You don't need it anymore. Go off into the wilderness. And give me all your stuff. Give me all your jewels, everything. Run that. Ninja, run that. Ninja, run that. Ninja, run that.
What we do in Mad Cow. We're going to miss because we're going to look at our fathers and we're going to say, fuck him. Many of us don't have fathers.
Oh.
And those of us who do have fathers,
we
have estranged relationships with him. Because as you red pillars so rightfully know, the world has been ordered in such a way right now that fathers have no value. And the reason why fathers have no value is because fathers are not in the home anymore.
I know, blame it on the woman.
I believe it was Hitler that once said the easiest way to control a people is to remove fathers from the home and make the women and children dependent on the state. This is a complete mind fuck that we've all fell for. While you're out there getting and grinding and stacking, know that you're worshiping that system. Know that you're worshiping material. Know that you haven't separated yourself from matter or the world of mother anymore.
So why
all you're chasing women with big tits and money is you wanting more breast from mommy, more milk from mommy. You got to grow the fuck up, let that shit alone, and go to the world of the father, the world of the snake, the world of the pattern, the world of sovereignty and the inner king.
Damn, Nature Boy don't talk like this.
What does that look like? It's so mysterious, the world of the father. The world of the mother is very simple.
It ain't that simple.
It's here. We can see it. We can touch it. We could smell it. We could fuck it.
Oh, where are you going?
But the world of the father
is what?
Much more mysterious.
It is.
Not really here. Think of your father, absent fathers, quiet fathers, atonement with the father.
Yeah, that's true. He's kicking a little knowledge from men. He's kicking knowledge from men.
This is a very complex topic with many different ways to approach it. And I'm doing my best here. But what we are asking for, wanting deeply, is a reconnection to meaning. Meaning is spiritual. Meaning, or what we make sacred, has everything to do with the choice we make to make it sacred. Nothing in the profane world is sacred unless we make it so. And we're wanting more sacredness, sacred father, stories, mythology, religion. That's what religion really is. Those who are religious and attached to the book of laws, attached to the book, attached to the gurus, attached to the teacher, attached to the master, attached to Jesus, miss. Real religion, releaguing, has to do with unifying with the eternal pattern, father, paternity.
He is absolutely correct. Damn,
that's why monks of old went on their own.
I can't even argue.
We do stand alone in this world. We do have sovereign power in this world, but we've been tricked and we've been duped and we've given our power away.
Yeah, go find that peace, man. Go.
A big part of taking our power back. And when I say power, I am not talking in terms of dick power or man power. I'm talking about the fully integrated, masculine, feminine, tender, aggressive, king, warrior, magician, lover. That's available in every single man. It's not about separation. MGTOW, I get it. Separation is one part of the deal, but integration is its purpose. You break eggs so you can make an omelet, so you can make something better. So separation is good so that reintegration is better.
Don't break an egg. You done killed the chicken.
Men, when we reintegrate our feminine within,
See how he's getting
we'll
lower
stop giving
and
our
lower?
power away to the Maya or the image of
You see
beauty
how
on
he's
the
getting
outside,
lower
because
and
it'll
lower?
be here.
I got you.
Not only that, men, when we get back in touch with our instinct, like a snake, our intuition, the female version of that. Intuition is very receptive. Intuition is very dark. Intuition is very subjective. We live in a world that loves objectivity, love object relationships. That's very feminine. All you scientists out there who want facts and want to be able to measure everything, you're feminists. You're attached to the material. That's very feminine. That's very matter of fact.
Yeah, please like the video.
We come from, and we draw our power from
Truly.
the energy of above, the spiritual energy. That's why
Hey.
there are so many fantastic creations made by men. We build rocket ships, bridges, technology, empires, because we dream this shit up. Women don't have to dream creation. They just make it. We give, look, check this out. We give women our essence, right? That's one of the terms used for your nut, right? When you jizz, and when you give a woman your sperm, you gave her your essence. Think about that word essence, right? What's in a seed? The essence, the potential. Man, we live in a world of potentialities. Why be stuck on facts and material? Why be stuck on taxes and women? The world of infinite potential, limitless possibilities lies in our grasp, men. And it begins with the stories we tell ourselves about the things we see in the material world. We've thrown out the stories that men have told one another for initiation and meaning for many, many, many generations with the scientific age. It's one of those throwing the babies out with the bathwater once again. Part of this pussification process, all that. Throwing out religion is pussy. That's pussification, because you're attached to the material and you're not willing to work in the metaphysical, the spiritual, the religious, the pattern, the father. You get it? So I'm not vying for the return of religion of old, but there are some elements there that will help us as we craft new stories for our new generation. I have a few that are very helpful that come from the work of Carl Jung that I like to share. I also have some very grounded approaches associated with taking feminine, heart-like. We get that back too, men. We're not just cogs in a system. We're not just shiny swords. They say white knights. Yeah, white knight, clean slate. You got to get some blood on you like a warrior and smear that in and love it and lick it like a lover in all your sensuality. And then as we gain wisdom, as we learn from one another, as we build our man town and come together and support one another and teach one another, our magician grows, our intellect goes, our intuition grows. Stories about our inner king, warrior, magician, lover. Stories about the garden, our inner feminine. Trusting our intuition and things we can't see, all very masculine. Putting down the neurotic sword of doing and picking up the scepter of being. Men, we've been tricked by the material world, the world of the mother, into believing that our value comes from what we can produce, what we can do. And as men, because, particularly young men, because we've got all that doing power in us, if they show us a road, we're gonna go. I'll pay for your college and give you $20,000 a year if you pick up this gun and go shoot brown people on the other side of the planet that didn't do shit to you. tyranny from above. We don't have the kings up top. Got dark wizards up there, giving our warriors negative things. Ugly bitch. That's your reflection, bro. They're our reflection. Moon. Men shine like the sun. That's why Jesus is the sun. The sun is masculine. The reflection of the sun is feminine. What we see in the female that we don't like, it's because we are casting a fucked up light.
See?
You don't like what you see in women these days, it's because it's our fault. We're the suns. We're shining on it. That's like the...
Oh my God, did he admit it? Did he admit it? I may not agree with 100%, but homeboy is definitely, I'm going through his stuff, and you notice I didn't have to stop too many times. What that part he said now put the nail on the coffin. But that's not the full MGTOW. He just giving his point of view of MGTOW. Hey, Vaughn D Gaming, how you doing? So I have to agree. And a lot of things you see in women you don't like, that's what you shined upon him. That's why I like to hear both sides of the story. Do you got anything to say about what he's saying, boss lady? Or should I just keep it going? I'm gonna rewind that part again though.
Keep it going. I agree with him 100%.
And men they really need to go someplace and stop bitching and really, because that's really how it was done back in the days. Even when, if you watch I forgot which one of them shows it was, but I can't even say the word S shows, when we was cooking and stuff, they showed before back in, I can't even say the word, I can say the motherland. That's a shame. I looked up all the words you're not supposed to say this morning, but remember I told you I took it off. It's like over 500 words and then some. I was up to 300, 200 words. I still was on A that you're not supposed to say. I'm like, well, damn. We got a very low vocabulary here. But either way, back in the motherland, there was I did it for you. It's finished. Hang them up. Now, it showed that when they got to a certain age, it looked like they got kidnapped, but they didn't get kidnapped. And they took them through all types of different trials, things that they would have to learn. And that's where the elders come in at. And that's where we disconnect at. And people go, we dropped the ball. We never had the ball. The closest thing to a ball that we have is our elders. And once you disconnect with the elders, forget about the welfare. Hey, living your best life. Hi, sweetie. Once you disconnect from your elders, that's the closest thing to the ball. And this is what society has done. They turned the young against the old, because they know that even if it's a bad, no good grandparent, they still have wisdom. They just was terrible to you, but they still have that wisdom, because some of them grow out of it, or some of them, they're terrible, but as you start listening to their story, and then they start saying, oh, but when I was young, then you start to understand, no, sis, I didn't get it. I'll check it. Hold on. I'm gonna check it when I finish this, but I'll definitely check it. But yeah, so as I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so when they start telling you stories about their childhood, now you can understand why they are so messed up. Like, why was I treated like this? Because this is how they was treated. Sometimes you need them stories, even if it's not from your grandparents. You got an aunt, you got uncles, you got elder cousins, you got elder neighbors, like people like maybe like in around your mother, your grandparents' age. they sort of kind of went through the same thing because they lived in the same generation. Sometimes it's really good to hear them stories because that's how I learned. That's how I got an idea of the life my grandmother was living because I was around people her age. So I said, oh, this is how it happened in the 30s. Oh, this is the type of life that they had. Oh, they wasn't able to do this. They couldn't go to the door. Everything back in them days was couldn't, can't. Can you imagine? You can't walk with your head up. You can't look somebody straight in the face. You can't go to the bathroom that you want to. You can't drive at a certain time of night. You only can stay in this side of town. You only can eat this part of the food. Can you imagine? These are grown people, and everything is what you cannot do. So and then you can't love. And back then, you have to remember, it was hard to love your kids because you was taught not to love your kids because not because they didn't want you to love them. That's because at any point in time they would take your kids from you. Your kids were sold. So as soon as you fall in love, you're going to think about that kid. You're going to have a maternal love for that child. But you had to have room in your heart for separation because you didn't have time to even mourn your child when they took your child. You couldn't cry. You couldn't do nothing. You had to continue to serve and get your job done. So that's why a lot of our in my generation, this would be my grandparents and above. If you're older than me, that may be your parents and above. And if you're older than some people, that might be their parents and above. So we have to, we never really had the guidance of our elders. And then when we did get the guidance of our elders, they were tired or we didn't want to talk to them because now we're grown and then now we're having our own life, our own kids. So the guidance, a lot of things never got passed down, but people didn't understand. Even though you was not able to get it from your own blood, you were still able to get that information from people in their age bracket, or you will find shows. Look at TV shows with people in that age bracket so you can see how was they living. Imagine being grown with kids and no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No. You can't. No, not this fountain, that fountain. No, not the front door, the back door. We want you to perform for us, but only you. And then I don't care, but you cannot sleep in our hotels. We want you to perform for us, but you got to find a hotel with your people in, and that may be 5, 10 miles, 20 miles away. It could be in a whole different town just to go someplace and sing one song. And then they still didn't even give you all your money anyway because they knew most of you guys couldn't even count. They knew you couldn't count. Then they made sure they gave you a bunch of bills, so it was hard to count. They gave you bigger bills, you don't have to count that much. They gave you bigger bills, you really be messed up. Because 5 and 10 is 15, but they're not gonna, they didn't know how to count. So that part, I'm feeling that part. So I'm just giving y'all a little understanding. So maybe, you can start telling your own kids stories and telling them your own life. And so they can get, maybe they feel like their parents not the best or you're not the best. But to get them to understand you, you have to let them know, hey, in my childhood, blah, 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 blah.
Women reflect like the moon. Men shine like the sun. That's because you pick up a gun and go shoot people in Iraq doesn't make you a warrior. When you can say no, our consciousness and the cosmos is a metaphor for everything we experience. Women reflect like the moon. Men shine like the sun. That's why Jesus is the sun. The sun is masculine. The reflection of the sun is feminine. What we see in the female that we don't like, it's because we are casting a fucked up light. You don't like what you see in women these days, it's because it's our fault. We're the suns, we're shining on it. That's like the sun looking at the moon and saying, ugh, you ugly bitch. That's your reflection, bro. They're our reflection. So in Mantown, we will have women. Because women will be there to show us our truth when we're standing in it. And then they're going to pick up their swords when we get weak, like they're doing right now. In Mantown, I see it like this. This is my prophecy for Mantown. That women will gain the power associated with choosing the men that lead. We don't need women acting like men in the new world or in any world. But when men don't act like men, women have to nut up and do it, and that's what we see.
Yeah.
But when women can trust men, because men own themselves, because men have taken back their power from tyranny, because men love the female inside them, they love the feminine inside them, women can trust them. Because they're not just conditioned automaton robots going out there doing what they're told by corporations and governments. We'll have our intuition and our sensing. We lead. We're the sons. And women, we love to reflect our glory. We would love to have them around. And you MGTOWs who are attached to women looking a certain way, because I've seen some of the videos where you're saying women are supposed to look a certain way, have a thin waist, and be pretty and feminine, you're retarded. You're still looking outside for the beauty that you want to embrace within you. Women won't be subjected to the bullshit tyranny that causes them to need to look and be a certain way either. This is about all of us taking our power back.
That's right. Yes, I like him.
Women won't be valued just for the way they look. What a cheap, superficial way to be about things. We will love women because of all of them, even their masculine parts, even their sourness. That's what makes them so beautiful.
Thank you,
I say that word sour with tender love and eroticism in my voice. Filling yourself up with masculine seed and power, reflecting, and then nurturing the physical creation by being home with our children, both men and women, fathers and mothers. The world has gone so fucking topsy-turvy that women are out there in the workforce and men are out there in the workforce, and the children, like Hitler said, are being taught by the government, are being taught by media. We will come home to small communities in Mantown. We will love our women, all parts of them in Mantown, and they will love us. And order will be restored and children will be happy. They'll have a mommy and daddy. The most fundamental basic thing for the existence. It's all yin and yang.
He made sure the shirt and the damn eyes go together. God damn it. Oh, that was a good build. That was a good build. But it's more. This is his perception of MGTOW. This is his. There's some not nice. There are some not nice perceptions too. Now, we want to know the difference. I want to see if I can get another MGTOW before I go into the difference between the red pill and the MGTOW. Give me 1 second. Living your best life, haven't seen that damn shower scene. She think he look good. Shit. But he got a body too. You see the muscles on him? Shit. Sheesh.
Yeah, he works out.
He said, yeah, he work out. Shoot. Let me just see another perspective before I get into the difference. Now she says, okay, no. This dude, he got hold on. And he says MGTOW is a cult. Even though I hear what they're saying, but I still like to know where they're going. So first, before I want to get one more perception on MGTOW, right? Then we're going to do the difference between MGTOW and red pill, because we got to know these things because they're talking about us. Hold up.
Hey, wait a minute, you told too slow. Hey, take a seat.
Okay, here's a man. He said he was wrong about MGTOW. I want a better perception. Because you got to remember, y'all men created feminism. We didn't create feminism. Y'all created feminism. I can't get to where I want to go. MGTOW is a lie and a cult. Well, everything is a cult. Okay, let me get to. Okay, let's just check him out. Right? Did I? You know what? I had him already there. That's crazy.
We can't see what you're talking about.
Okay, let me do this first. Okay? I'm talking to y'all and myself. Now let's hear his point of view, right? Because these are the things we need to know. Because we're starting to like these men and realize they don't like us back. Let's hear what he has to say. Remember, I put my fair use sign up there already, right here.
.com. On this. So I did a video, let me see where the comment came from. So I did a video on framing, which you can check out here, kind of a video to you guys out there. The question is, I'd love to hear, or the comment here was, I'd love to hear your commentary on the MGTOW movement. So if you're not familiar with that, it is the men going their own way movement, which is pretty interesting. Obviously, I've talked about this, or obviously I'm familiar with this. I did some book reviews, I think on some of the, one of them was The Rational Male, or maybe I did I don't know, maybe I didn't do the original. No, I think I did. I think I did the original and his follow-up book, which is a really good book that I think all of you guys should read. But it doesn't mean that I totally agree with, it doesn't mean that I'm totally in agreement with this movement. So first of all, let me define for you, like, my definition of what the men going their own way movement, the MGTOW movement is. And there's different interpretations of this.
Caroline,
right? So
is
this is
terrible.
Just what I gather it to be.
She is terrible.
And I looked at Wikipedia too to see, okay, am I, do other people generally view it this way? Obviously, it's going to have a little bit of negative connotation because it is Wikipedia. But essentially it's this. It's essentially this. It's essentially a movement that has arisen recently where guys have sort of realized that there is a double standard, that as far as male and women, that feminism has gone a little bit too far, and it's actually sort of a penalty to be a guy today. If you look at the high suicide rates in teenager men today, it shows a story that can't really lie, right? I mean, and you look at some of the mass shootings, things that have happened. I'm trying to think of that one guy. I can't remember, but usually it's fueled by this frustration. There's this underlying frustration for guys today that, especially guys that haven't figured this stuff out, that they're pressured by society to be feminized themselves. But I've talked about this a lot. I talked about how to become a man. You can check out that video. Definitely check out the playlist here that I've got if you haven't already. It'll be in the cards there. But about these topics of this stuff. Roles, right? I'm trying to think of falsely accused of rape, things like that. I'm not, it's hard to judge on some of these things, but in general, this movement is basically rebelling against that, saying, look, hey, we're actually going to go the other way. We're going our own way. We're going our own way. Like you can, all this society, this is bullshit, right? It's being taken over by this liberal mindset that is saying, hey, this is, everything's got to be PC and culturally correct, and really it has a lot of roots in feminism, and this is not men. It
is about the videos. We're all learning together. We're all learning together what is going on in our society. This is what my job is to do, to let you know what is actually going on in our society. We did not know with so many groups of men. We knew that now that we know we got fraternities, red pill, the orange pill, who was terrible today. Poor little Tank Tank. And then we have now we got the MGTOW, and then we're gonna hear the difference between MGTOW and the red pill. Then we're gonna, after we hear what then we're gonna hear what a doctor has to say, a scientist, psychologist has to say about that. So we lost, but we got to learn these things. We have to accept the fact for some reason. I think, what I think the problem is, boss lady? Nobody wrote no songs for them. Because every song is, I love my mama, 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 mama. Nobody write nothing. But it's not our fault. Y'all should have wrote something about your damn daddy. Y'all musicians, right?
This is not what men are supposed to be. So okay, so that's basically how I define the movement. And I would say that within this movement, okay, there's a lot of guys
and everybody
this
put out
saying, I'm going my own way. I mean, that's where that comes from, and saying, not only am I rejecting this, but I'm rejecting, and some people, it depends on how far people are going, right? Some guys are going and they're saying, I'm rejecting any relationships with women, definitely marriage and monogamy. And some guys are going celibate, or they're just visiting prostitutes, or they're basically just doing some short-term relationships, or basically writing off all kinds of romantic relationships completely and saying that, well, it doesn't work because society has messed this shit up, and I'm just going to do my own thing. So that's my definition of it, okay? There's some biases in there, of course, but that's how I sort of see the bigger movement. And there's different degrees of it. And like I said, people would define this differently. But here's what I think about this, okay? So I think there's some valuable truths and concepts in here, right? And a lot of this is very biologically driven, right? So I think this is where me and the MGTOW folks might part ways a little bit, have some differences of not the facts and not what's going on in our opposition to them, but how we respond to them. That's what I would say here, right? So, and this is why I'm teaching you something different here, and something probably different than the PUA community. Somewhere where I would sit is probably somewhere in between where some of the old school PUA community is and the MTGOW, whatever, men going their own way, MGTOW, I'd probably be somewhere in the middle, just if you're familiar with those concepts. If you're not, it's okay, it's cool, but I study up on this stuff, of course. I'm very interested in where we're going, right? And also with coaching. So And also I had my difficulties in the past when I was younger, right? So what I'm saying here is essentially this: is that what they're saying at a base level, I totally agree with, that feminism has gone crazy and rampart, and that society is definitely geared towards women. And I was getting to the biological aspect of this. So the biological aspect of it is essentially hypergamy, which is that women biologically are going to look for higher status males, and if they can trade up, they will. And that the kind of romantic love that is perpetuated by Hollywood and by a lot of females is actually more of a male thing. That guys are more likely to get obsessed about women and not be able to get over that, which, you guys, that you know that this is actually true. This is kind of weird, and that romantic love actually exists more on that side, the idealized fairy tale version of it, whereas women are a little bit more resourceful. They're able to figure out, hey, this guy's better catch. I'm just gonna go and cheat on this guy, or switch over to that guy. Not that it's an intentional thing. It's a biologically driven thing. Just in the same way we could, I don't mean to assassinate the character of women, because we could assassinate the character of men in a similar fashion by saying that guys are just chasing the next piece of ass. That
exactly.
they're very monogamy is not a male trait, and that they're always looking. They're always attracted by attractive women. So. But when we look at this from a biological level, and we look at not only from a biological level, those things make sense. I think hypergamy, I think it's true. I think that men having a problem with monogamy, I think that's probably true as well. But and not just biological level, though, at a societal level, right? If we look at this, this is one of the things I did this video on truth. It was basically on masculinity versus femininity, and looking around, and if we observe society, if we observe what is going on, and if we look historically, but even if we just observe in the present, you will see this to be the case, right? You will see instances of this happening. You'll see the kind of guys that women are attracted to, that they are with. You will see guys that are so obsessed about some girl that dumped them, or a girl they could mostly a girl they never had or could never have, that they've idealized and fantasized about and have put her on a pedestal, and all of these things. So you will see this happening in society. So where am I going with this? So essentially this, I think the underlying upset with the movement, with the men going their own way, I think it makes sense. I think it's true. I think I agree with it. I think that it's very hard for me to argue against these facts. Yes, today in society, it is biased against men, especially men that want to be masculine and heterosexual and express their masculinity in any way. Masculinity is seen as toxic. There's a lot of reasons for this. Again, I don't think this is, and this is okay. Here's where I split. Here's where I have the split. And it depends. Like I said, I mean, some guys are really extreme on this, and I think Rollo Tomasio probably would agree more with me. I'd probably be a little bit less, I don't want to say bitter, maybe bitter than he is, or despondent, or right. I'm trying to think of what the cynical is probably. I'm less cynical, okay? So I agree with the fundamentals, with the reasoning, but this is where we split, is essentially, I don't see this as personal at all, and I don't see this as necessarily a problem that has to be dealt with, and that we should reject. Right? I'm more reality driven. So this is the way that things work, okay? And yes, society.
Bobby has to go. Now we're gonna get the difference between the red pill and the blue pill. Then I want to get the difference between the red pill and the manosphere. Because we got to get these terminologies down pat, women, because we got to start vetting these things out. If we want to move on, we got to know which man we getting. Damn it. We are. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Pat always thinks for me. And I was up so early this morning, right? Trejo's, I guess that's Trejo's time, mate. I guess he works around that time. And I was just saying, who got the coffee? But I was talking about real coffee, for real. And they sent me $1 for my coffee. I was so happy. Somebody else did. Trey Max sent me some coffee. I said, y'all so sweet. But I was talking about the real coffee. After tea, I need my coffee. Yeah, that's why I had to let him go. I had to let him go. He had to go. Now we're going to see the difference between MGTOW and Red Pill. Then we want to know the difference between Red Pill and MGTOW. See, our job is to study. If the men study us, we got to study them, and we also have to hear them out. And Homeboy, the Homeboy did a very good presentation, a very, very good presentation. Okay, Red Pill is not MGTOW. And it better not be. It's Barbie, though. Oh, my goodness. He better talk a little bit better this time. Shoot. I ain't playing with him neither.
Of being on 2 YouTube channels. Okay, one of them was TFN. Okay, and one of them was Entrepreneurs in Cars. And these are different things. Both of them profess to be Red Pill. Okay, but one of them is guiding men down the wrong path. I'm from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the bulldog mindset. It's kind of funny. A lot of MGTOW guys always, check out my videos, and they comment some bullshit in the comment section, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to teach me how to be a man." And that's the first comment they give me, which is quite interesting because have you looked around society today? Do men not need to be taught how to be men? It's not just automatic that you become a man. I think this is what a lot of people don't understand. You have to work for that shit. You have to actually earn it. It takes something. In old tribal societies, there was a rites of initiation where boys would become men and they were guided by elders to become men, to going through some trial or something that would actually bring that about. There's no shame in it. I had to learn it. I didn't know, okay? I had to learn it. You may have heard of the Red Pill, and a lot of people are also complaining, say, "Oh, the Red Pill just means truth." Yeah, but within the manosphere is where the term basically was originated as far as the common use of it today. And what the Red Pill means, it's just the essential truth about the nature of women and the biology of women. That's it. Evolutionary biology, okay? It's just what tactics, what can you expect, right? You have to understand not only, the negative, but some of the positive and just the facts of the situation. To understand Red Pill truth, to be red pilled, okay, it means nothing more than just seeing the reality, the clear reality of what it is and how women are and how they behave. There's no negativity attached to that by itself. If you're red pilled, it doesn't mean that you hate women. It doesn't mean that you even associate some of these things as negative, right? Hypergamy, it's just a biological evolutionary fact. The way that women act, maybe being more on the emotional side, part of the feminine, is just a fact of nature. It's not good or bad. When I teach you guys stuff about this, I want you to understand, to be aware of the situation, to be aware of what to watch out for, to be aware. Like you should know, for example, a red pill truth is that women prefer bad boys rather than nice guys. People warp this. Again, the MGTOW says, "Oh, they're only interested in assholes that treat them like shit." Where there may be some truth to the fact that a woman would probably actually be more sexually attracted to someone who acted like an asshole and treated them like shit than someone who was a super nice guy bringing them flowers and being a pussy. While there may be some truth to that statement, that's not why women prefer those guys. It's because they're assertive and dominant, and they have the capacity of violence. It's because they know what they want, and they're not afraid of other people, and they're not afraid to go out and go for it. Those are not negative things, except that what comes along is, or what happens with a lot of what would be red pill truths, is that the MGTOW guys, unfortunately, they take all these red pill truths and they twist them and they make them into the negative. For one, bitterness does not help you. And second of all, it's a perspective. Let's say that you're playing a game, a board game of some sort, and the rules are set up in such a way that you are clearly disadvantaged. You can be upset about that and angry, and you can whine about how the rules are disadvantaging you, okay? Or you can realize that that's what the rules are, learn as much as possible about those rules, realize that it's just the way that it is, that there's no particular person or malice towards you. And then you can study those rules and strategize how you can best have your best play at the game, even though the rules are technically stacked against you. I know the deck is stacked against you, right? A lot of people complain about me on the opposite side. A lot of feminists hate me, okay, because I don't promote diversity and all this bullshit. I know the deck is stacked against you, whoever you are. In some ways, the deck is stacked against me. In some ways, it's stacked against you, depending on what you do in life.
You gotta go.
Japan, and I wanted to be successful in Japan. The deck would be stacked against me because they don't really like foreigners that much.
He gotta go.
Philosophy just states the facts, and then it leaves it up to you.
All right, he got to go. He got to go. So I don't believe in diversity. I don't care for diversity. But you ain't gonna tell me you don't date outside your race. So now you got to go. Yeah, I can't with him neither. I don't believe in diversity. You want to date your own kind, that is okay, but not on my show. Now, because of this man right here, this video might disappear. I did a video on him before, and the video disappeared. I want to see if he make this video disappear again. I want to see if he make it disappear. Maybe he could break it down. We're trying to find some man who could break it down the best. Let's just see. I don't care. You could date who you want to date, love who you want to love. But you ain't going to tell me on my page, I don't believe in diversity. Okay, that's it. That's enough. That's it. Now, let's see if he can break it down. Now, remember I told you guys, now this is another group called the Alpha Male Strategy. So far, we got the red pill. We got the blue pill. We got the purple pill. We got the alpha male strategy. Hold on. Red pill, blue pill, purple pill, yellow pill, the alpha male strategy, MGTOW. That's 6 group of men. This is 6 group of men so far. Ladies, are you listening? I named 6 group of men. Then we got the manosphere. That's 7. That's 7 group of men. And you wonder why we have a shortage. You guys wonder why we have a shortage. I'm trying to explain these things to you. Now you see why nobody is saying hello, how you doing? Hey, sexy. Because we got 7. We didn't even include the ones incarcerated. That's 8. The ones that became us, that's 9. And then we didn't even get to regular men yet. So it's so many group of men, so many different beliefs out there. That's the real reason. That's the real reason why a lot of us are single. That is the real reason why a lot of us are single. Now, this is the man from Alpha Male Strategies. I liked Homeboy, and I was like, hey, I like to hear y'all game because I like to hang around men, so I hear stuff like this. But my whole video disappeared, so this video may disappear too. But I want to see what he got to say. If it disappeared, doesn't matter because what? We saw it already. The people who needed to see it. Oh, yeah, I know, Charlene. How you doing, baby? How you doing? How's your day or night or your evening going? But this whole video is not about him. So let's see what he got to say.
What's up, fellas? So today we're here to talk about the 3 pills, all right? The blue pill, the purple pill, and the red pill, all right? So first I'm gonna talk about the blue pill. And the reason I want to talk about these pills, guys, is because a lot of guys don't understand what the content comes from. A lot of the content comes from these 3 pills, all right? These 3 dynamics pretty much just explains the whole male population. All right, guys. So the blue pill, guys, is the classic beta male. All right, and what I mean beta male, they're totally naive. All right, they don't know female nature. All right, they haven't been exposed to it. All right, so a lot of you young guys who just started following my content and a lot of stuff I tell you, you just feel you don't want to believe it. All right, because you haven't lived life long enough to experience it. All right, that's the bottom fucking line, guys. So what you got right here, guys, with the beta male, the blue pill guy, is he's totally naive. He hasn't experienced it, and so he doesn't know anything. He doesn't understand it yet. He hasn't been exposed to it yet. That's your classic blue pill guy. And one thing about the blue pill guy, with the one benefit of being a blue pill guy is they're not jealous. All right. The reason they don't get jealous is because they don't know female nature. They don't know women step out from time to time. When I say that, I think a lot of you guys think I'm talking about a woman steps out every fucking day. A woman might just step out on you once a year. All right, or once every fucking 2 years, or whatever the case may be. Maybe she does step out on you every day, but I'm just saying hypothetically, a woman will step out, but she ain't gonna step out on you every fucking day. All right, she'll step out on you periodically. It might be once a year, once every 2 years, but she will step out on you. All right, guys. The blue pill guy doesn't get jealous because he doesn't know that. He doesn't know women step out. All right, so that's the one benefit of being a blue pill guy. You just naive. You just don't know shit. All right, you just haven't experienced it yet. All right, the purple pill guy is a little bit more of a complex guy. All right, because here's the thing with the purple pill guy. He knows female nature. All right, he knows it. And this is the thing with the purple pill guy. He knows female nature, but he needs a relationship. All right, so that comes a problem. All right, so this is why you're gonna see the purple pill guy. He's the very jealous, insecure guy. All right, anytime you see a guy that's in a relationship that's very jealous, that's because he knows female nature, but he needs a relationship. So he's in a little bit of a conundrum because he knows it. Like a lot of you guys who follow me and stuff like this right here, the case, if you ever decide to get back in a relationship, you will be a purple pill guy, but you'll never trust that bitch. You will never trust her. All right, it's because you know female nature. You know she'll step out on you. All right. Another thing about the purple pill guy is he just accepts female nature for what it fucking is. All right. And what I mean by that, guys, is he knows that if he loses his fucking job or something like that, he knows she's on the first thing smoking up out of there. He just accepts it. All right. And, you know, that's kind of sad, but that's the reality of a lot of purple pill guys. I don't know if you guys ever seen these memes of Jay-Z with Beyonce and stuff like this, and they be at the fucking game and shit like this. And you'll see him on the meme, and she'll be texting his phone, and he'll be doing like this, looking out the corner of his eye, her text like this right here, looking. That's because he's a purple pill guy. All right. He's in a relationship. He needs the intimacy of a woman. He needs the commitment of a woman, but he don't trust her. All right. And if you ask Jay-Z, man to man, hey man, you know, if the feds came and took everything you got, if the feds came and took all your money, your homes, your car, left you bankrupt and 20 million in debt, do you think Beyonce would stand by your side? I guarantee you, man to man, he'll tell you no, I don't think so. All right. That's the bottom line with any purple pill man, is that they never trust a woman, and they know that if they ever fell into hard times, that the woman will be on the first base. They know that. They just accept it. All right. And last but not least, guys, is the red pill guy. Now, the red pill guy is a guy that's single and just date because he understands female nature. And usually the red pill, I think is a good phrase for the red pill, is the red pill guy usually gonna come across as
Earn an associate's degree, RN to BSN degree, master's degree, doctoral degree, or postgraduate.
So if a lot of you guys watch my videos or something like this, you'll see women in the comments on the video say, this dude sounds bitter, this dude sounds bitter. It's not that I'm bitter at women. I'm really bitter at my reality. And what my reality is either be single and stay single and just date, which means that I'll never have love in my life, or go back to being a purple pill guy and just accept female nature for the way it fucking is, and knowing that she'll leave me if I lost my resources. All right, so that's why when you run across red pill guys, that's why we typically gonna sound bitter. It's because we know what choices we have. We know we have either those two choices: stay single and never find love, never love a woman. You know, there's only one way she can't love you. You can only love her. Either accept that, or go back to getting in a relationship and just accept that if you fell on hard times, she's gonna be on the first thing smoking. That's the hardest. That's why if you run across a true red pill man, that's why they sound so fucking bitter. All right. Now, here's the thing with this, guys. You know, I don't want you guys bitter at women or whatever case. If you're gonna be bitter at anything, be bitter at Mother Nature. All right. But if you really understand human evolution, you would know that nature has installed this shit in women for a reason. All right, the world cannot survive without women being hardwired to be that way. All right, it's simply, listen, guys. Listen, if women aren't hardwired to be about resources, well, essentially what you have is you have a lot of men who have no motivation to be successful. I know that shit sounds crazy as fucking hell, but if women just loved off of just pure marriage,
It's crazy because I had the same conversation with my kids, right? Not my biological kids, but I'm talking about my kids in my program. I said, times has really changed. I said to the women, I said, y'all settling for less. And this is why these men are not giving you what you deserve. I said, back in our days, women like men with cars. They didn't even talk to you unless you had a car. So them men, when they got 18, 19, and 20, the first thing they did was try to get a car. Because they knew that was their way of getting a woman. So did it benefit the woman? Yes and no. It benefited the man more because it's his car. So if they break up, he can just pick up the next woman. But it's still, for him to pick up these women, he had to have a car. Certain things a man had to have back then. So I have to agree with what he is saying, and that is old school talk. But it is the truth. To get a woman, just to get a woman down, I'm not walking. I got to get a man with a car. Now, these days, they put that money into sneakers. They put, I'm telling you, $1,000, $2,000 for a pair of sneakers that you're going to have to wear forever until you come up with some money for some. I mean, that's a whole lot to drop on a pair of sneakers. When you could drop that on a car and you could have cheap sneakers. But the woman, even if you have a car, the woman now is looking at the man sneakers. They don't care if he got a car. They'd rather walk in the cold, walk in the freezing cold, or stay in a hot ass car without no air conditioning, depending on where you live. Everybody's weather's different. Rather than get a man with a car, they're gonna get on that bus, take a cab, get on a trolley, whatever you have in your city. So once we started lowering our standards, they did not have to work harder. They don't got to do nothing. I even said, like I said to the men when we do the food program, I said, hello, where you going? Take something home to your mother. Take some, oh, hang on. Yes, you do. You are a young man. A young man is always supposed to bring something home to the house. You always bring something home. And then you'll see the difference. When you start bringing stuff home every day, you'll see the difference between you and your mother relationship. And they was like, oh, you right. You so right. You so right. I know I'm right. When you go to people's house, you always supposed to bring a soda or you bring something. These kids, they're not taught to do that anymore. Because we, the mothers, every woman in his life lowered their standards. So men are not taught to bring stuff home by their own mothers. It's like a lot of people felt our men. They felt our women too. But we're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. These men, sorry to say, men has to be taught. Women need to be taught certain things too. Keep our standards up. We gotta learn how to say no. Now, a lot of women keep telling one man no, he gonna no, I gotta get my act together. But if you saying no and the next lady's saying yes, and we keep making it easier for them, a lot of them don't work. Even back in the days, they even hustle. They don't even hustle. They literally stay home with the video game. So, it's going to be hard because now these young girls don't even know what standards are. They don't know what it feels like to be taken out, like on a date before you do the tango. You know what I'm saying? Before you do that tango, they don't even know what it is to be treated, even if it's not somebody that you're going to stay with forever. But at least.
Oh, speaking of young girls, my daughter just got a beautiful engagement ring. She's getting married June 2023.
Oh, congratulations. That's
I'm
nice.
so excited for her. She got a beautiful ring.
Oh, you get to go and be mother of the bride.
Yes, in Monterey.
Monterey.
Mm-hmm. Beach wedding.
I see. All right, I'm with that. Shoot. I don't care. But that's a total shame. A lot of our women are not. They are not being they
Thanks,
lower their
Nicole.
standards. They lower their standards so much that we've been robbing our, like, before you used to have the son go to the store. They knew how to count the change. You always taught them, when you go and see such and such, take them this or take them that. They don't even teach boys no more to keep money in their pocket. If a boy keep money in their pocket, they're going to spend it all. They don't know you don't never spend all your money in your pocket because you're not guaranteed mama got it the next day. If because mama gave it to you every day, you don't know if she's going to have it for the next day. They don't understand how to save money. They don't even talk money. They don't even talk money. But we'll carry on to what this man is saying, even though I know he's going to counteract what I'm saying. But I just had to, say something about that part because I preach that all the time. We are the men motivation. So we don't like what we're getting. That's because we lowered our standards. And that's what we end up getting. More Dusties.
The man as an individual, I don't even know how long the world will survive. I'm just being honest with you. I really don't know how long the world will survive. Women are built to survive. All right, so they tend to be selfish, and they're hardwired the way Mother Nature has hardwired them to be that way to keep human evolution going. All right, so that men provide the resources for the offspring. Like I told you guys, it's not for the woman. Like when you typically watch TV and stuff like this, you think the woman wants resources so she can go out and buy a bunch of Hermes bags and Gucci bags and this, that, and other. Women are hardwired, and some of them do, but women are hardwired to want a man with resources so her offspring have a better chance of survival. All right, that's what it comes down to. Women are hardwired. Now, the thing is, they're still hardwired from generations when people badly could eat and shit like this right here, the case may be, but it's still gonna carry over to the day. All right, women are hardwired to want a man with resources. All right, and women are hardwired to leave you if you follow hard times because it's for the betterment of the kids. It's for the betterment of the offspring. Even if you ain't got no fucking kids. All right, women are hardwired to just think like that. All right, it's just the way
that
it
is
is,
true.
guys. So I don't want
That
you
is
guys
true.
bitter at women. Just if you're gonna be bitter at anything, be bitter at Mother Nature because it has hardwired women to be
That part is true.
like that. All right, and the purple pill guy never trusts a woman because he knows women are evolutionally hardwired to want to replicate the alpha male, all right, which is gonna be me, guy. Which is when I say the alpha male, it's gonna be somebody like me, 6'4", 6'5", broad shoulders, good looking guy. It's gonna be somebody like me. That's just the way it fucking. It ain't gotta be just that. It could be a 5'7" guy that's a fucking alpha male, whatever the case may be. But the women are hardwired to want to replicate the fucking alpha male. Just the way it is, guys. She wants to have a baby by the alpha male. Back in the day with the kings and shit like that, still today, the king will have 1,000 fucking women. They all trying to have kids by the fucking king. It's just the fucking way it is, guys. And so, you know, we red pill guys, we start with a conundrum. Do we just want to date for the rest of our fucking lives? Or do we go back purple pill and just accept female nature for the way it is? She's gonna leave me if I lost everything, and she's probably gonna step out from time to time. All right. As a purple pill guy, you would never trust a woman. Because you know female nature, and you know she can't love you, so you know any purple pill guy knows if I lose my job, she's out of here. Every purple pill guy knows that. All right, which is kind of a sad reality. All right. So you trust your, I'm gonna be red pill probably, you know, whatever case may be. If I ran into a girl that just blew me away, made $1 million or whatever the case may be, in the future or something, who knows? I doubt it. But like most guys, no matter how, you know, who you is or how alpha male you is right now, most guys at some point enter into a beta male, enter back into a beta male stage. Even if you just accept female nature, you just enter back into a beta male stage.
New research from Stanford University suggests that female metabolism is controlled largely.
Some guys don't do it. George Clooney, I think, to get married till he's like 55. Up to that point, he has been a bachelor all his fucking life. All right. So most guys at some point, they just accept it and just want to settle down and start a family, whatever the case may be. All right. All right. And also, I want to talk to you guys about how to handle losses. All right. Well, here's the thing with losses, guys. I think the guy put this in the comment section of the video, and it's good. Guys, all losses it's just failures with monetary loss. That's all it is. And so, guys, all losses is the same thing as failures. It's a learning experience. Unfortunately, when you go out and you do things in the real world, whatever the case may be.
And they really hate each other too. These men are crazy. They hate women. I mean, oh my God, they dislike women, and they dislike each other too. Dang.
To the men of the MGTOW community, by giving women even more of your time and energy, by resenting them, simply gives them more power and control over your mind, and thus power and control over you. Before this video starts, I want to make it abundantly clear that this is not an anti-MGTOW video, nor is this a hate speech geared towards the MGTOW community. So if you're a part of the MGTOW community, I implore you to listen with an open mind. From my earlier 20s until now, I've been in more relationships than I can count. Earlier on in my dating life, I used to allow women to manipulate and or control me. I was under their spell, chasing them day in and day out. I used to spend all of my hard-earned money trying to please them, whether it be buying a new outfit before going on a date or taking them out on expensive dinners with money that I didn't have. Whatever soft, spineless act of trying to court a woman who is not interested in me that you can think of, I was doing. And I believe the proper term for that is a simp. That was me. Now, fast forward
Is it still
to today,
echoing?
31 years young. In none of the relationships in the last 5 to 6 years, so age 25 up until now, did I allow any of my female counterparts to manipulate, use, or persuade me to do things that I didn't want to do, like here being the case for some of the men of the MGTOW community. In the last 5 to 6 years, I've managed to be in numerous relationships happily, while at the same time managing to stay grounded and true to myself, rooted in my purpose. In fact, I would venture to say that in the last 5 to 6 years, I've always maintained the upper hand in relationships, so to speak. My female counterparts became a part of my reality, my world, rather than me desperately fighting and chasing to become a part of hers. So what I'm getting at is I've been able to enjoy countless relationships and partnerships with women without resorting to joining a collective that in some cases chooses to resent women so much, in fact, that some of the members do not date or marry women at all. I've been able to do this by choosing the way of the superior man, not MGTOW. Now, you don't have to agree with me here, and you're probably not going to, but I'm just going to say it. From the outside looking in, the MGTOW community looks like a cold and bitter place. Now, before you get all mad at me, just hear me out. I love what MGTOW stands for, and I support it 100%. I really do. A man taking his life into his own hands, striving daily to become the absolute best version of himself, while at the same time living in alignment with his purpose, guided by his core principles and values. I am all for that. The part of the MGTOW community that I'm not in alignment with is the part where men spend countless hours resenting women on the daily, be it by watching videos, reading posts or forums, or simply by just walking around carrying that heavy load in their hearts. I'm not going to spend too much time on the nature of the content that's being produced out there, but suffice it to say that I'm not in alignment with the almost hateful nature of the community. A lot of the content that's being produced or consumed is filled by resentment, and rightfully so. When you feel something is unfair or unjust or whatever, as do the members of MGTOW or any major movement seeking balance feels, it's not hard to feel animosity towards a thing that's making you feel that way. But what I don't understand is why someone would continuously choose to dedicate his or her time and energy to the very thing that they resent. Hey, I don't like racist motherfuckers, but at the same time, I'm not going to exhaust my precious time and energy romanticizing with the anger and frustration that I have towards them. Rather, my time and energy goes towards shaping myself daily into a superior man, into the strongest version of myself. I'm going to say this one time, so listen up. To the men of the MGTOW community, by giving women even more of your time and energy by resenting them simply gives them more power and control over your mind, and thus power and control over you. The moment emotions like fear, frustration, resentment dictate your thinking, your actions, or your behavior is the moment you lose power over yourself and give it to the very thing that you do not like, the very thing that you are trying to fight. It's called men going their own way, not men going their own way, but let me just carry the frustration I have for women in my heart while I do so. I'm not saying to not speak up for yourselves. By all means, please do so and do so proudly. But if you do so, just remember that if you're operating from a place of resentment or hatred, you're losing. And also, as a side note, when you take a message beyond the walls of the internet, you wind up looking cynical and bitter. Hey, I know we give them a lot of shit a lot of the times, but at least feminists are out there on the streets in the real world, taking real world actions towards fighting for what they believe in. They don't just sit there and build this underground community that many of the outside world will never know about, simply because its members would rather take to the keyboard than take to the streets. And that is not a slight or a diss at anyone in the MGTOW community.
The nerve
I'm
of
just
you.
saying that people are going to take you a lot more seriously if you're out there on the streets and taking the actions in the real world towards fighting for your points. But if you just sit on the internet and complain, and someone happens to find this community with men that seem resentful towards women, they're just going to look at you as bitter and cynical and sad. So in conclusion, I've got nothing personal against MGTOW or its members. I've just...
Oh, you hating. You hating. You hating. Basically, you ever heard of the old, what they call women when they old and bitter and old, them old bitter men. But they get together in a nursing home anyway. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got so much more work to do. I love these like different personalities. I mean, different. This is. I'm teaching you guys Psychology 101. Y'all should be getting a lot of information. Psychology 101.
Good morning, my brothers. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to talk about the blue pill, the red pill, and the black pill. If you've seen the movie The Matrix, or if you at least know about it, you know about the red pill and the blue pill. Even if you haven't seen that movie, you are probably associated with the MGTOW community, the manosphere, the
I just want to say, side note, they all gone by the pill. Who wrote the movie? A woman. The woman wrote The Matrix.
Always blaming something on me.
Huh?
I said you always blaming something on me.
I did not.
Oh,
I said the man who's talking about using all these different pills. Guess who wrote The Matrix? A woman.
Oh.
Yeah, a woman. So the woman the one came up with the red pill and the blue pill. So y'all still following behind a woman. Before y'all thought of all these pills, the woman thought of it first. I just thought I'd tell you I'm in that. A woman, and guess what? It was a black woman. Not even just any woman. The black woman wrote The Matrix. So, damn. Fuck. I know. I mean, funk. Can't curse. You can't do nothing on YouTube now.
cell community. And even if you're not associated with any of these things, you've probably heard these terms in passing and you just don't really understand what they're about. Now, for reading this, because this articulates it better than I can,
close off your bag.
The blue pill describes a continuity of the current state of life. For example, living life without knowing its meaning or running away from the truth in order to stay as is. That's the blue pill. Basically, you don't care about the truth. You just want to be lackadaisical. You don't want to accept life for what it is because it's scary. That's basically what the blue pill.
And they happy. The
red pill is described as the solution for knowing the real truth in life.
What is that?
So basically, the red pill is like you learn about the truth. You learn about the truth of life.
What
you
truth?
Learn about the truth of women.
What truth?
And you try.
What truth?
How would I put it? You try to master it as best as you can. You try to get better and master it as best as you can. You don't sit idly by and become lackadaisical, oblivious, or anything like that, or shy away from the truth. You accept your truth. You accept your reality for what it is, and you build upon it, or you do more research on it. That's basically the red pill. The black pill. The black pill takes the red pill even further. Now, I'm going to explain this to the best of my ability. If I get it wrong, you can correct me in the comment section. But from my understanding, the black pill is basically determinism. It's basically you really don't have a choice in the matter. If you don't have the best genetics, so what? That's, hey, shit out of luck. If you don't have the best communication skills, if you don't have the best this or that, you're shit out of luck. And basically, why even try? I don't have the look that females want. I don't have the mental outlook or capacity what life wants from me. I accept that. Like, I'm not going to be lackadaisical or oblivious like the blue pill crowd. I accept it. But unlike the red pillars, I'm not going to waste my time getting better because it's useless. It's fruitless. Doing those things, just a waste of time. It's not going to improve my standing, so why even try? That's what the black pill is. Now, brothers, I will say this. The black pill has helped me in a way. Now, I will say this. I'm not a complete black pillar because I just feel like it's way too bleak. It's way too bleak and nihilistic. It's too much. But the red pill in a way, it's kind of delusional. Now we're just going to disregard the blue pill. The blue pill, if you're on the blue pill, son, you got to get better. You got to find a healthy mix between red and black, in my opinion. Just disregard the blue. But the red pill, if you disregard the black pill while you're on the red pill, you become delusional. You think that you can overcome every obstacle you face. You think you can learn all the answers. You think you cannot. It's impossible. You think you can do anything. And that's where a lot of red pillars go wrong.
Red pillars.
Here's an example. A guy who was around 5'8", 260 pounds. You can tell if he lost weight, he would be, he'd be okay. If he went to the gym, worked hard, changed up his diet, he'd be okay. He could attract certain women. He's 5'8", 260. He takes the red pill, hits the gym, changed lifestyle. He's 5'8", 180, ripped, has a decent life, decent job, everything. Okay? And you think, man, this dude is doing well for himself. But his confidence is at an all-time high. But he comes across a 6-foot blonde. He's black, but he comes across a 6-foot blonde.
Okay. Time for the doctor. Let's let the doctor speak. Because he another one, he too slow. Anybody can think, he got the answers. Well, I know exactly how women are. Well, you need to tell me, shoot. Tell me the difference of all the menstrual cycles and how it go, and there's other things that go on with women. But we shall let the doctor speak. I love this doctor. He's great when narcissism stuff. He's really good. Now let's go.
And like Freddy Krueger, I'm back. My name is Sam Vaknin. I'm the author of Malignant Self-Love, Narcissism Revisited. And today, we're going to discuss the media would have you believe that the manosphere is that niche in cyberspace where misogynistic men congregate in order to plot how to exact revenge upon incalcitrant and exploitative women. But there's a lot more to it than this. The manosphere reflects the congruence and confluence of several very important social and cultural trends. And it is comprised of disparate elements which disagree with each other and even harshly criticize each other. So to generalize this way is both inaccurate and misleading. Let's start with pickup artists, PUAs. These are communities of men guided by self-imputed experts, so-called experts, who purport to have found the exact sequence of buttons to push to get a woman to succumb and offer access to her body. So if you follow their recipes, there is no woman in the world who will be able to resist. Of course, pickup artists fail to see the irony. Like home-broken and trained puppies, they jump through hoops held high by females, and they adhere religiously to a script that is written entirely by the fair sex. It's kind of, you want to sleep with me? You have to go through these motions. You have to act clownishly for hours, and then you may succeed. I have even less respect for self-disparaging and self-loathing incels. These guys whine constantly and pathetically about being shunned by women and how they have a God-given right to sex by force if need be. These are the black pillars.
The black pills.
Took the black pill.
Black pill.
Some of these misfits even undergo extensive cosmetic surgeries to fix their alleged facial deformities.
Leave them black pills alone.
It's a form of body dysmorphic insanity known as look maxing. Now, black pills, red pills, blue pills, these come from the movie The Matrix, where people were given pills which allowed them to see reality for what it is. And other people took pills which misled them to regard the Matrix as reality. So if you take a red pill or if you take a black pill, you're exposed to reality as it is. You wake up, so to speak. You wake up from the Matrix and you are able to discern what is really happening and to defend yourself or protect yourself from untoward machinations and stratagems, especially by women. Red pillars, as opposed to incels, are more benign.
Did he say like Freddy Krueger on that? Is that not? No, but he's a very good doctor. And y'all know for a fact, I'm not going to go into a subject unless I always either started off with the professional or I end it with the professional. Because these are the things that we need to know. It's like coming in here, you're going to get some psychology. You're going to learn psychology. You're going to learn these things. Because these things you need to know. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit because he is one of the when I first learned about narcissism, like many years ago, it was this guy right here, and this had to be like 8-9 years ago. I mean, I always knew something, but I never knew all the different types of narcissism. Hey, mother love, I never knew the different types of narcissism. So he was the one that broke a lot of that down. He's looking younger. He used to look older and tired, but he breaks it down for you. Definitely check out his videos. But I'm gonna run it back a little bit.
These guys whine constantly and pathetically and misleading. Men congregate.
So the PUI is the pickup artist. The PUA is the pickup artist. So he's going to talk about the pickup artist. Then he's going to talk about the black pill.
In order to plot how to exact revenge upon incalcitrant and exploitative women. But there's a lot more to it than this. The manosphere reflects the congruence and confluence of several very important social and cultural trends. And it is comprised of disparate elements which disagree with each other and even harshly criticize each other. So to generalize this way is both inaccurate and misleading. Let's start with pickup artists, PUAs. These are communities of men guided by self-imputed experts, so-called experts, who purport to have found the exact sequence of buttons to push to get a woman to succumb and offer access to her body. So if you follow their recipes, there is no woman in the world who will be able to resist. Of course, pickup artists fail to see the irony. Like home-broken and trained puppies, they jump through hoops held high by females, and they adhere religiously to a script that is written entirely by the fair sex. It's kind of, you want to sleep with me? You have to go through these motions. You have to act clownishly for hours, and then you may succeed. I have even less respect for self-disparaging and self-loathing incels. These guys whine constantly and pathetically about being shunned by women and how they have a God-given right
Thank
to
you,
sex
Charlene.
by force if need be. These are the black pillars, the people who took the black pill. Some of these misfits even undergo extensive cosmetic surgeries to fix their alleged facial deformities. It's a form of body dysmorphic insanity known as look maxing. Now, black pills, red pills, blue pills, these come from the movie The Matrix, where people were given pills which allowed them to see reality for what it is. And other people took pills which misled them to regard the Matrix as reality. So if you take a red pill or if you take a black pill, you're exposed to reality as it is. You wake up, so to speak. You wake up from the Matrix and you are able to discern what is really happening and to defend yourself or protect yourself from untoward machinations and stratagems, especially by women. Red pillars, as opposed to incels, are more benign. They claim only to have seen the light and the true nature of women as rapacious and psychopathic entities who leverage the institutions of society to their unbridled and disempathic benefit. So say the red pillars. And of course, unfortunately, the logical extension of this alleged power asymmetry and power grab is to avoid all committed relationships. Enter MGTOW, men going their own way. The thinking is this: casual sex is fine. Committed relationships, including and especially marriage, play to the benefit of women. Women use the law, legislation, use institutions to extract and extort men, to extract benefits and extort men. So when they get married with a man, they then abscond with half his property and migrate towards a higher level man. We'll come to it in a few minutes. Now, all these, the MGTOWs, the red pillars, the black pillars, and any other pillars of society, all of them breed on the grounds, and they are a groundswell which reflects really unprecedented social trends. Human society had first come to being in an organized sense with the agricultural revolution about 10,000 years ago. Jericho, ostensibly, was the first urban center in today's Palestine. And there was 10,000 years ago. So for millennia, for thousands of years, we have been organizing society around specific gender roles. Women born with one set of genitalia had their assigned roles in society. And men, similarly, born with another set of genitalia and a different hormonal structure and more musculature, had their roles in society. In many societies, the roles were not considered superior or inferior. Women were not considered inferior to men. They were considered different to men. And because the belief was that women had different endowments, distinct endowments to men, they were relegated to and confined to a highly specific set of functions, which they could never exit. There was sort of a glass ceiling, if you wish. Men, similarly, were confined and imprisoned and incarcerated within a role space, a space of functions. And so men, for example, had to do everything which concerned muscles and strength and brawn. Women had to do everything which had to do with the family, or raising children, child rearing. And so these roles ossified over time, coalesced and ossified and fossilized. And by the 19th century, during the Victorian era, gender roles were codified, literally codified. Up until that time, women were considered chattel, property of men, similar to beds or, pieces of furniture. And in the Victorian era, they were, on the one hand, liberated in some sense, especially the economic sense, but on condition that they adhere to and accept highly specific gender roles from which they could not deviate. And if they did deviate, they were imprisoned. For example, there was a movement called the suffragettes, and they tried to open up society to level the playing field, and many of them were imprisoned. They were matrons, they were respectable ladies, but they were put in prison. So the Victorian era was a Faustian deal. The women sold their freedom in certain arenas of life, for example, politics, in return for the protection of society. So society protected their property, society protected their access to their husband's property, society protected their child rearing functions, and society codified men's role in ascertaining and securing sufficient means to raise children. And on the other hand, women gave up access to certain types of education, most professions, and politics. This was the Victorian Faustian deal, which was undermined mainly in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s by feminism.